Welcome to this program called Work Life Balance Formula 44 with 8 steps, with 8 tips to enhance our health and maintain a nice work life balance. So, the 8 elements that we talk about in the Formula 44 are based on the 4 elements in the category of food and the 4 elements in the category of exercises. So, in the category of food, we are talking about eating one fistful of nuts every day, 2 helpings of fruits every day, consuming 3 glasses of lukewarm water early in the morning when we get up over a long period of time, not in one gulp. And we are talking about eating adequate green vegetables, leaves, lentils, pulses, grains, such organic, natural food in our lunch and dinner. There should be 4 helpings. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 helping of nuts, 2 helpings of fruits, 1 fistful of nuts, 2 helpings of fruits, 3 glasses of lukewarm water, and 4 helpings of vegetable, leaves, grains, pulses, lentils, beans, that category of food. So these take care of the food. Now we move to the exercises. The 4 elements of exercises. 1 hour of meditation, which is the most important theme of this program, because everything else is dependent on that. That is why it is so important. So we'll talk about meditation in almost every day session because that is the key. But then let's look at the 4 elements of the exercises. So 1 hour of meditation, you call it mind management, dhyan, mindfulness, whatever. 1 hour of meditation, 2 rounds of walking few kilometers every day, 2 rounds. 3 breathing techniques, pranayam, chi breathing, and 4 rounds of Surya Namaskar, sun salutation, which is going to take care of the stretches and the flexibility of the body, etc. So to repeat, 4 elements of food, which is 1 fistful of nuts, 2 helpings of fruits, 3 glasses of lukewarm water when we get up in the morning, and 4 helpings of food components, which encompass the group lentils, beans, pulses, grains, vegetables, etc. And the 4 elements of exercise: 1 hour of meditation, 2 rounds of walk, 3 breathing techniques, and 4 rounds of Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. So why Formula 44? Because it is so easy to remember. In our 21st century modern day living, we are so much hard pressed for time. We have so much to do. We have so much to catch up, with the social media, etc., that what is being neglected is our mind and the body. So, in the previous video, day 1, we gave an overview of the Formula 44. Today is the day 2. We will focus predominantly on the first element of the food, which is the 1 fistful of nuts. But we will talk about other aspects of this formula also. But the predominant theme is the 1 fistful of nuts. So what are these nuts? These nuts are also called the dry fruits. Akhrot, walnut, kaju, cashew nuts, pistachio, pista, almonds, dates, currant, kishmish, raisin, fig. When you are talking about this category of food, this is very important because these dry fruits and the nuts, they contain amazing nutrients, and they contain micronutrients, which are so much essential for the body. So the recommendation from the experts are that we consume 1 fistful of nuts and dry fruits every day. So let's say, for example, if I can tell you about my own regime, regimen which I'm trying to implement. If I've eaten few walnuts in the morning before the breakfast or along with the breakfast, I will eat a handful of pistachio in the afternoon, a little bit of pistachio in the afternoon. So total about one fistful, because we cannot be consuming a lot of dry fruits because the nutrients are very much dense. So one has to limit the quantity. And there are many, many rules which you can educate yourself by going through the YouTube channels, etc. For example, if you talk about the almonds, now most of us know how to eat almonds. We soak the almonds in the night, in the morning remove the peel, and then chew it very fine in the mouth and then consume. These almonds are so amazing. And the chewing is very important, which we should repeat in every day's session, because the process of digestion starts in the mouth itself. The saliva has enzymes, has elements which help to digest the food. So the process of digestion starts in the mouth itself. So it is very important that we chew the food very well. Secondly, the stomach doesn't have teeth. If we don't chew the food, how the nutrients in the food will be absorbed? So there is a process. We chew the food, we eat the food goes into the glottis, epiglottis, and the alimentary canal, the esophagus, comes to the stomach, remains there for 2-3 hours, goes into small intestines, then the large intestines. So the pancreas, the gallbladder, and all these, limbs of our body, they come into the organs of the body come into picture. So for a proper assimilation of the food, the digestion is so important, and that is possible if we chew the food very well. And then there are other rules also we should remind ourselves every day, that just after the meal, don't consume a lot of water. Take a little bit, because if you drink a lot of water with food, the digestive power gets reduced. And there are other rules, that the digestive power is directly proportional to the sunrise. That is why they say during the midday, the sun is at the brightest. So that is the time your digestion is at the best. So your lunch is your best meal, because you would be able to digest it very well. And as the sun, is going towards the sunset, the digestive power starts reducing. But then coming back to the nuts. So we talked about the dry fruits, the nuts, and we talked about the fact that the nuts have, some very important fatty acids, some vitamins. Especially walnut has the omega-3 fatty acid, which is not available otherwise in many food items. So one fistful of nuts is the theme for today. But then, we have to also watch about the preservatives and the fumigation, because most of these nuts are very highly fumigated. So one recommendation which Swami Mukundanand says is that you wash the nuts. And then if you eat, at least you have removed the sulfur dioxide which was used in fumigation. So that in a nutshell is about the nuts. What we do, we have decided to spread this knowledge into 8 or 9 videos. So the first video talks about the overview, that is like the day 1. And on the day 2, we will go one by one. So day 2 is about the one fistful of nuts. On day 3, we will talk about the 2 helpings of fruits. On day 4, we will talk about, the 3 glasses of lukewarm water. The day 4 will talk about, the 4 helpings of the vegetables and the green leaves and the salads and the lentils and the pulses and the beans. And on the day 5, day 6, day 7, and day 8, we will talk about, the 4 elements of the exercises: 1 hour of meditation, 2 rounds of walk, 3 rounds of breathing techniques and the 4 rounds of Surya Namaskar sun salutation. But for the remaining part of the video, let's understand the science of the, the food, what is it and how it builds up our body. So we all have heard the saying that the food that we eat, becomes what we are. You become what you eat is the very popular notion. And that is the truth as per the researchers and experts and as per the scriptural texts, that the food that we eat is actually churned and digested in the stomach, and then it is divided into 3 parts. So 1/3 of the food, the Ayurveda says, becomes our mind. 1/3 of the food becomes our body, which is made up of the blood, the bone marrow, the skin, the muscle, the bone, etc. So you would have read in the Ayurveda, it says that when we eat the food, the first element that is formed after the churning of the food and after the digestion is the rasa. And from the rasa, it becomes rakta. From rakta, it becomes meda and majja and asthi and shukra, like that. So the 8 dhatus, it is called, are made from the digestion of the food from rasa onwards. So to repeat, 1/3 of the food becomes the mind, 1/3 of the food becomes the body, which we just discussed, and 1/3 of the food is excreted. Now, we just shouldn't be, worried about the calories. We need 2,200 calories for men and less for the women. But then if we are eating the wrong type of food, the calories are not helping alone. So that is why this mix, the balanced diet. There should be nuts, there should be fruits, there should be pulses, there should be beans, there should be green vegetables, there should be, enough water we consume. So there are so many amazing food available, to suit everyone's taste and inclination. But today we talked about the nuts. So that is the first element in the food. 4 elements, formula 44. That is 1 fistful of nuts. And also we should remember that we have to learn about the sattvic food. What is sattvic food? What is rajasic food? And what is tamasic food? Bhagavad Gita, when I read it first and when I came across this shloka about the rajasic food, katva amla lavantyushna tikshna rupcha vidahina ahara rajasa siesta dukkha shoka mayoprada. I was shocked. So beautifully Bhagavad Gita describes what is rajasic food. The food which is too bitter, which is too sour, which is too salty, which is too pungent. You add the word very, as Swami Mukundanand explains in Bhagavad Gita explanations. You use the word very, so very bitter, very sour, very salty, your food becomes rajasic. And that food, what does it cause? Dukkha shoka amaya prada. It results in illnesses. It results in, dukkha, sorrow, shoka. We are lamenting. Can there be anything more explicit about the food than this particular knowledge? And in the previous shloka, in chapter 18, shloka number 8, 9, 10, if I recall correctly, talks about this food, 3 classifications, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Sri Krishna says, Ayu sattva balarogya sukha priti vivardhanaha rashya snigdha hridaya ahara sattvika priya. The sattvic food is wholesome, is juicy, is succulent, is tasty, is great to eat and good for the, the heart. And this food gives us longevity. This food gives us, the happiness. This food takes away the illnesses. Again, the Lord is so explicit. So we'll continue to talk about the nuggets every day But day 2 was basically meant for the nuts, one fistful of nuts. Thank you so much. Stay fit and keep smiling.